Hey there you guys, it is me, RandomJosh, and I'm back again with yet another Random Monday video. And today, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, we are of course going to be talking about Pride and pretty much like why is Pride important? Like, we've kind of escalated past this point, so why is it still relevant in today's age? So we're going to be kind of going through a little bit of like, it's going to probably be a lot of rambling, a lot of jumping between topic to topic, but yeah, we're going to just talk about Pride basically. So obviously I want to start off by saying, obviously Pride Month is known as June of every year. Now obviously a lot of prides don't actually take place in June. I'd say a vast majority of prides do take place in June. However, you know, like London Pride is in July, Brighton Pride is in August, Student Pride's in February. It's all over, but the symbolic month of Pride is dedicated to June. Reason for this is basically the birthplace of Pride, which was the Stonewall riots. So Stonewall was essentially I think it was either like a pub or a club or something like that. It was basically an LGBT friendly space for people to go, but unfortunately the police rioted and raided the place, but the people fought back, and this is back in 1969, so this is literally 50 years ago right now. So yeah, the LGBT people of 1969, they fought back and created what we now know today as the Stonewall riots and the Stonewall movement. So from then on out, we kind of commemorated this occasion with what we now call as Pride. So every year, as you've obviously told, we have what many people will look at and see as a celebration. Of course, Pride is a celebration, but it's also a time to kind of more or less reflect, a time to commemorate those in the past who carved the way for the rest of us, you know, the youth of today, including me. You know, I am blessed enough to have been born into this world at the time that I was, because they had already paved the way for the rest of us to kind of live a happier life than they could have. Now obviously there are still lots of, you know, things going on in the world, so obviously people can sometimes sit there and say, well, why is Pride still relevant? Why do we still need it? You know, us living, for me especially, living in the UK, you know, why is it needed in the UK? Because the fight isn't over. The fight still goes on, because there are still places around the world where being LGBT is literally still criminalized, or even, you know, you could literally be imprisoned or murdered just for being who you are and loving who you love. And to me, that is just ridiculous. Like, everyone says it all the time, you know, it's 2019, why are we getting so crazy, you know? It's 2019, why can't someone love who they want to love? Why can't someone be who they want to be? Why does it come down to one person's judgment because they don't like the way that, you know, someone dresses, they don't like the way that someone acts? Let them be who they want to be. Like, we all have our own unique, different personalities, and one thing that I'll always say is, you know, as much as people say don't judge other people, you know, it's a natural born instinct. We're all born with it. We all judge one another whether it's, you know, a harsh negative way or if it's a kind of helpful judgment on someone. We all judge people, you know. You'll be going to like the clubs or walking down the street and you'll see someone wearing something that you think is absolutely hideous. First thing that goes into your head, your outfit is disgusting, get away from me. But how you act on those judgments, that's the next level. So just because you see something that you may not particularly agree or which you may not like, it's how you act upon that. So just because I've seen this woman, let's say, wearing the most hideous dress of her life, like, I would never be caught dead in something like that. Just because that's going through my head doesn't mean that I have to say it, doesn't mean I have to attack her, doesn't mean I have to do anything. I just let her go on her day and be who she is. That's the trick behind judgment. So being able to let someone live their life even though you don't agree or don't like what they're doing, just let them do, you know, let them be who they are. So another part of pride as well, I am lucky enough to have, you know, some really good and amazing friends in my life, and they are pretty much just all straight. They are all straight. So having them in my life and being able to kind of educate them along with me, and, you know, having them just stay by my side is really nice. So they technically are part of the LGBT plus community because they are one of the A's, which is ally. So they are my allies, which is really nice. But on the topic of them, a lot of times, like, my straight friends will turn around to me and be like, hey, like, Pride's coming up, let's go. I absolutely love and adore when that happens, because it's a chance for me to kind of, one, Pride lets me kind of be myself, be a bit more how I want to be in life, crazy and like whatever, free. And it kind of gives them the opportunity to see that side of it, because a lot of the time in life, we, to this day, tend to like close ourselves off in fear. And just bringing them along to allow them to see that, like, it's a really fun experience for me, because I feel like I'm educating them, I feel like I'm bringing them on my little journey with me, and I love that to pieces. Obviously I do give them the, you know, rules of going to a Pride event, such as, you know, respecting everyone that is there, you know, don't make people feel uncomfortable, whether it's intentional or not. Try to not make people feel uncomfortable. And, you know, some people that go to these Pride events are not completely out and not completely comfortable in the everyday world. So, like, me being me, I am, you know, a fully out man. I go about my day, I'm pretty much wearing, you know, a rainbow covered on my face every day, you know, everyone knows. But other people, they are a little bit more scared, a little bit more, you know, they're not ready, they're not at that stage yet. So kind of, I think the idea behind it is like the pictures being taken, so posting them all over like social media, you need to be a little bit careful. Obviously people do post pictures naturally, and it's one of those high events where people will be more likely to take pictures, to go a little bit crazy and have a lot of fun. Just be wary of, you know, other people's feelings and respect, you know, who they are and their decisions. So I want to kind of move on from that part and just talk about something a bit more current, something that's, you know, relevant now and is happening pretty much like right now, and that is, of course, straight pride. So this is something that, you know, some of you may know, some of you may not. I'd assume most people do already know about this, but there has been, probably for quite a few years now, like a lot of people making jokes about, how people can have gay pride and why it's bad for people to have straight pride. What? But there's actually been a petition going around for people to actually do straight pride. Like, it's gone past the joke now and it's actually got to a serious point where they're actually taking it further. And let me just get this out here. So, a message to anyone who believes that straight pride should be a thing. Have you ever sat there and been so afraid to go outside and be who you are? Have you ever, had people screaming derogatory terms at you from their car windows as you walk down the street? Have you ever, just felt so alone and so scared that you close yourself off and don't let people see the true you? And I know that the answer is, for the majority of you, is no. Because you are lucky and blessed enough to have the ability of being who you are. Being straight is not criminalised anywhere. You can freely marry, do whatever you want, marry, divorce, whatever you want, and nothing gets, people just bat an eyelid. For us as LGBT people, we've had to fight our way into the system and be seen as equal. Now obviously, me being me, I'm lucky enough to be in a world now where being me isn't criminalised and I am free to be myself, but I'm not free from the judgment. That is the hard thing, is I still get those feelings today of going down the street and actually being, screamed derogatory terms at. It's 2019 and I'm still being, called faggot, being called gay, being called bum boy, whatever they can think of. Literally anything under the sun. I've probably heard it all being screamed at me out of a car window by people who think they're funny, by people who think, it's cool to be inappropriate and rude to someone because of who they are. Now, I've heard them all so much that I've kind of got used to them, but should it really have got to a stage where I'm now used to being hurt and being called these horrible terms? We've taken back so many of these terms and made them our own, but it doesn't make them okay to say, especially when it's in such a way. There's different ways of saying the derogatory terms and stuff like that. So saying them in a jokey way with your friends, depends how your friends take it. So for me, my friends say it, I'm bat it off. But when you don't know someone and you kind of just fire that at them, of course they're going to see it as a attack, because you don't know me, you don't know my life. How dare you come for me? Do you know what I mean? But it's just wild that people think that, being straight needs a pride. I bet you my absolute life and back that you go up to any LGBT plus person and you say to them, if you could trade, having the kind of security and ability of a straight person over, having your pride, what would you choose? A pride event or having the security that we're fighting for? Of course, majority of them would say that they'd want, the abilities that straight people now have. So we'd trade you in an instant. You want pride? Have pride. As long as we get, what we want. And that's just to feel secure in our everyday life. Just like any other human can be in the world. But some low-life, small-minded people think that that's not okay because it's not the way that they think. Okay, hun. But anyway, that is pretty much a crazy rant, whatever you want to call this, of Pride and why it's still relevant to today. Obviously there are so many like points about how many people die a year who are LGBT because of that targeted hate crime and things like that, but I don't want to get into all the crazy details. I just wanted to kind of give you the short, sharp facts of life, as always. But yeah, thank you guys so much if you have managed to watch through all of this. It means quite a lot to me, actually, that, you know, you're listening, you're coming along on this journey with me, and, you know, I want to help the community out, and I want to make sure that people do get the education about why we do certain things and where it all stems from. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and feel free to drop a comment down below about your thoughts on Pride events and, you know, on the LGBT community, your experiences, anything you want to talk about. I'm always open to discussion down below. Or you can follow me on the social medias. They are also down below in the description, so feel free to find me on all the social media. And yeah, I'm always open for a chat if you fancy one. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see each and every one of you guys in the next video. Peace out, bitches.